good, fam? It's Mr. Kelly with Good to the Hood, talking about anything and everything that impacts the culture. And today, bringing back a guest, one of my favorite guests, of course, you're probably going to start seeing him much more, is my boy Avery J.
What?
Y'all probably remember him. Well, he's been on a good number of videos, right? But probably remember him. We got this here in the background here. We did the top 10 women in hip hop.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that, absolutely check that out. We might have to do a revision of that. That was that's probably 10 months ago. So
that was almost a year ago.
Almost a year ago.
That was a good conversation too.
I felt the same. Yeah. And in that video, we also talked about, which we haven't done, some top 10 list where talked about maybe some of the top 10 R&B groups.
Yes.
We can get granular with it, go 80s, 90s, current day. So anyway, so that's actually there's a dude, I don't know if this is R&B, Mooski.
Okay, yeah.
He got a song called Truck Stop. Yeah, he's dope. He said he won't be the new Chris Brown.
Okay, I see it. He got some flow too. So it's interesting how music has gone in this direction where like R&B and hip hop has kind of become amalgam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and I just heard about him through, you're on social media and you're looking at whatever, and then I seen that, and I was like, oh, let me see. I thought the dude was a rapper.
Yeah.
Like a rapper. And then I listened to it and I was like, oh man, he's dope, right?
Melody.
And I see a lot of other. That's how music and a lot of things get introduced into the culture is through that social media. So on that, I guess today's topic will be the impacts of social media on the culture. Obviously, it impacts the entire globe, but how does it impact the culture? And so in this instance, as that little bit there, Mooski, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a fan already. It was because social media.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, man, social media has become like the biggest crutch that any burgeoning artist needs. Like you have to have your social media like skills like on point if you want to go anywhere with the music today, with anything really.
No, for sure. Yeah. And the thing with social media, I always tell people, whether it's a small business or if you're an artist, absolutely take advantage of those platforms, right? Because they're free.
Yeah.
Back in the day, maybe you have to get a web developer, get a website, do this, that, and the other. But I mean, it's free. However, it's saturated.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Like Instagram is super saturated with everything.
Yeah.
You got TikTok, Facebook. What else is out there? Snapchat, I guess.
Oh yeah, I mean that counts. You still got Twitter, which is still a
Twitter. Yeah. Donald Trump, I think, saved Twitter. I don't know that Twitter was as popular as Twitter.
No, Twitter. It's the interesting thing about social media is like all things within the culture, it's constantly changing, it's evolving, it's growing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, TikTok today is pretty much what Vine was 5-6 years ago.
I never got into Vine, but I know what it is.
Not many people did, but the interesting thing is that Vine spawned the careers of a lot of modern day comedians today, the exact same way that TikTok is going to spawn a lot of new artists and a lot of new trends. Oh yeah, absolutely. Dude.
Okay.
I mean, what's the brother? I want to say it's not Ha Davis. It's another guy. It's, like King Karan and all these other guys that were on Vine. They were just
I didn't know Vine. So I know that. So Soulja Boy, MySpace.
Yeah, right? MySpace, YouTube.
Justin Bieber was YouTube.
Yeah,
right.
YouTube.
Here's the problem though. So this is how I think it impacts. Okay, so since we're talking right now, music artists, this is how it impacts the culture in that regard. Is people will want to turn and look and say, oh, well, Soulja Boy did it, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it kind of lessens their grind.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at somebody like Luda, or even back in the day, MC Hammer, some of these guys, they're selling CDs out the trunk.
Right.
They're going to the college campuses and doing free shows and like they got their own little street team.
Yes.
And they're doing whatever. Social media makes somebody feel like they don't need that.
Well, what it takes out of the equation ultimately is this idea that you don't have to network in person anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Since we have the social media network, I could just reach out to all these people and touch them all at the same time, versus making this personal. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a musician, and I still enjoy playing. But I think that one of the reasons why, we get a decent, draw or whatever is because, people will see us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll still show up to my peers shows or my mentor shows. And I actually, take part in that.
You never know how a collabo might come together, or you get some of their fan base. They get some of your fan base, and it's a whole. But I think when people bring up some of these individuals that have at least got a good buzz going off of social media, would still absolutely take advantage of it, but that can't take the place of. Everybody looks at the person that made it going viral that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
if he did it, I could do it too.
Exactly. In Soulja Boy, like again, going back to Soulja Boy, him doing that, people say, oh, well, he did it, I can do it. But what about the 100,000, 200,000 other people that aren't going to go viral?
But and the crazy thing about social media is it really impacts the way that we communicate to our market, and it really communicate on an emotional level. Because look at memes. You know what I'm saying? Did you I didn't even know what a meme or a GIF or any of that stuff was 5-10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But now it's almost like it's really the way that people communicate. Because I'll tell you what, I can get a major reaction off of a meme or a GIF versus just
a conversation.
Just a conversation. And sometimes people will read into the conversation too. It's just I think it's about the content of what you're sharing, the content of what you're speaking about.
On that, with the emotional thing with social media also creates the illusion that you're actually being involved in life, society, or causes. Okay, so on that, so for instance, the new hashtag, not new, but the trending hashtag right now is Stop Asian Hate, right? Okay, so you have people that are putting up these memes, and maybe they're reposting or retweeting articles, and so people are going through and they're liking it, and maybe they drop a quick little opinion, and then somebody else will like it, and somebody else will like this meme or whatever, and so you feel like you're really a part of the solution, or you're really making a difference. And you're not. You guys are just liking each other's memes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, are you going out there changing any type of legislature? Are you walking an old Asian woman from the store to the car? Are you out there interacting maybe with people groups that maybe you weren't exposed to before, so you're trying to learn about them and then learn about you? And really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because when you bring it up like that, it's almost like they do this thing. To make themselves feel a way, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm sharing this, I'm saying this stuff, and I'm not taking action, but I shared it and it made me feel good, and it fires off these cylinders in your brain. It's almost pornographic. Like I said, like not to take it there, but I'm just saying like you're not.
I mean, no, look, I get it because it's an instant gratification.
Yeah, exactly. You're not actually doing the thing, but you feel like you are. You know what I'm saying? Since you feel like you are, you feel good, you're happy.
You feel like you're an activist.
Yeah.
Look, if y'all on the social media, you almost a porn activist.
I guarantee that if they did a scientific study and they looked at, they just looked at the neurological firings of the brain in those moments where, if I share something that sends love and light and positivity or talking about feeding the homeless or whatever, like that feels really good. It almost feels like you took action in that thing. Right. It's the illusion. Yeah, it's an illusion that you... That's exactly
you brought up the homeless thing, so that's actually good because, me and Halim Ali, he's another guy I've had on here from the Heart Enterprise, and we went and we fed the homeless a couple months ago. And that's actually very true. Like, he posted that we were going to do that, I posted that we were going to do that. We got a lot of likes and whatever, but when it came to actually going to downtown Denver and handing out bottles of water and handing out sandwiches and whatever to the homeless, all those people that liked it didn't show up.
Oh, wow.
You see what I'm saying? Like, collectively, if we look at how many likes he got and how many likes I got doing that on Facebook, because it was on Facebook, we probably had maybe, collectively, maybe 100. Or close to, right? I mean, it was me and half a dozen people from my camp and him and half a dozen people from his camp, which were going to be there anyway. These aren't even people that liked it on Facebook. They were going to be there anyway. People from his organization were going to be there. People from mine were going to be there anyway because they know us and whatever. But those people that liked it and maybe even shared it, they all feel like You know what I'm saying? That they took part in it, but you didn't. Your boots never hit the ground. You wasn't walking down there, fam. Like you was. Somebody might say something. We'll just say as an example here. I'm not trying to get too much craziness, but on the social media, somebody might say something bad about Trump.
Yeah.
And then somebody's like, "Oh, I know he's such a this, that, and the other." And then somebody's like, "Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is." All you guys are in the same mindset anyway. You're not changing anybody's mind outside of this whole little circle.
Yeah, that's how echo chambers form. That's the echo chamber.
Yeah.
Because I said, I hate this guy, and then I hate this guy, I hate this guy, I hate this guy. And then that's all there is.
Right.
All there is hating this guy.
Yeah.
And there's no solution, there's no change, there's nothing outside of that.
Right, you're not getting different perspectives.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not even...
Because what about this person that loves this guy? And
right.
he can tell you why he loves him, he can tell you what he does for him and all this other stuff.
And then you're not even debating on bullet points of what's important and what's not important.
The echo chamber is so loud it drowns out this person. With another perspective that can help your perspective grow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's impacted our culture tremendously.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I think if you go on these social media platforms and you go to even within our own people groups, like you really see that, like, oh, well, if you don't agree with my views on, say, reparations, then you're a sellout.
Yeah. And
then everybody's like, oh yeah, you are a sellout. It's like, because maybe somebody didn't agree on your points on that, or political views.
Yeah.
And then of course now this dips into this is added fuel to cancel culture.
Absolutely.
Because now with social media, that can come out there. Somebody say something disparaging on a platform, and everybody's like, that happened to Tory Lanez.
It did.
Right?
Oh yeah.
That whole thing, before brother was even convicted or charged or whatever, it was like, oh, you did that to Meg? And it was a wrap.
It's over for you.
Although his Daystar album was dope.
Yeah.
So you can just wake up in the morning and be, social media absolutely impacts the culture that way. And people are in the safety of their home.
Yeah.
And will say and do anything. And I think COVID actually exaggerated that too, because whenever it was on lockdown, like people were already like that with social media to begin with. Then you're locked in your home for 6 months to a year.
And we're looking specifically for things that make us feel good. Because we feel, you know what I'm saying? So all the things that make us feel good, and it's not to say that we embrace the things that make us feel bad. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that, like, with social media and with technology, the internet, everything in general that we have like access to, we could really use these opportunities to really broaden our perspective. You know what I'm saying? And to really grow. We could use that. So we could reach out to people in real time and gain new perspectives. We could even reach it could even be a really great tool for outreach. The action just has to be there. But you know what? The action to everybody on social media is just click. Click. That's the one action. And it doesn't go beyond that.
Guys that do these pranks. You know what I mean? And I know there's recently in the paper, I know it's on old as hell right now. There was recently on the news, how about that? Where this guy pulled a prank and then got killed. I forget who he was, but he was this white dude, and he would go to the hood and he would act like he's coming at somebody with a knife or something like that. Like, oh, I'm just joking, we got a hidden camera over here, whatever. And he ran up on somebody, and this dude, I have to make sure I get the link to this. But basically, this brother was like, he had some women with him, I don't know, a sister, girlfriend, or whatever. And then this white boy runs up with a knife like he's getting ready to inflict harm, essentially. So the dude pulled out the burner. And
Police say a man named Timothy Wilkes and a friend did a prank robbery, running at a group with a butcher knife. That's when one in the group shot Wilkes, unaware that it was fake. Police say it was being filmed as part of a YouTube video and that no charges are being filed.
But it was a prank, and so then you have the people like Tekashi 69 who go like super, super reckless to kind of get these likes and these views.
People look at it and they're like, oh man, I want to see what he's going to do next.
Exactly, and then you have these daredevil type or adrenaline junkie type people where they do these selfies or whatever when they're at like the top, like on a radio antenna on the top of a building, and they do this crazy stuff just to get the likes and the views. There was another guy who had his girlfriend. He says, shoot me with this gun. He had like some phone books or something, and it didn't go through, right? Well, it went through.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You got to know your audience, man. And I tell you what, a big part of knowing your audience too is just like knowing what impact you're going to what impact you're going to make the minute you decide to create some content, Because that brother that got killed doing the prank stuff, hey, in the next lifetime, I know, man. Not everybody playing with you.
Yeah.
Not everybody's playing with you, man.
And that's, you're addicted to the likes.
Yeah.
You're addicted to the shares. You're oh, I just want to go viral. So much of your self-esteem is based on that. And I think that's even beyond the culture. I mean, I think that's, aside from the culture, I think that's even generational. Yeah. I really feel like the younger, like my generation, I mean, because we grew up without smartphones. I mean, we grew up with, before Xbox, before all this other stuff. Like, we had Atari 2600, Nintendo 64, and then after that, we were already adults doing whatever. But so we just weren't impacted the same way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now you have a whole generation of, they were raised on that. They were raised on Twitter. They're raised on Facebook. They're raised on Instagram. They don't have to be social. They're getting these likes, and so much was based on how popular you are because someone viral with these likes. Like that's damaging as hell, dude. So now we've bred a whole generation of people that are, I would say, emotionally immature. Just that's not, you know what I'm saying? Just not equipped to deal with whatever. Like, if somebody don't like you, that's fine. And then they're not even going out there trying to meet these people.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to some young dude, and I was like, I don't even know how y'all do with the dating. Like my era was like, hey, you see some girl somewhere and you ask for the 7 digits, like then you just ask for the number.
Yeah.
Or you give her yours, you know what I mean? Now it's just like swipe left.
That's one of the aspects of it.
Or slide into the DMs.
Yeah, it's one of the aspects of it. You know, I think ultimately, man, it's just it's time to get more in tune, and I think that social media can leave us out of tune. As much as it can keep us informed, it can keep us out of tune and out of touch. Yeah. So I think out of touch, literally, because you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, man.
See what I did there? I'm a rapper, baby.
Hey, look, and when you're messing with these girls in the social media, she probably don't even look like that, because y'all got filters. At least back in my day, if I walked up on some girl and she was in the mall, well, I mean, you see her, you see everything. Sure, maybe she has some makeup on, but you can only conceal so much with makeup, people. Like, you got people with filters. And what's that whole thing where they have the angle? You're like, oh, she looks hot. And then you see her. And then
but that's all a byproduct of the low self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? All of it just feeds into it more and more and more. You know, I would be interested to see if there's something that social media can do to actually, like, really and truly, like, empower people and boost their self-esteem in a genuine way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I think that it makes the waters really shallow.
Very true.
You know, we only swipe at random people.
And on that note, here on social media, definitely follow Good to the Hood on the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, which will be at the end of this video. And hit that like and subscribe. And I think you're going to see a lot more of this guy. We're going to start tackling some more issues and some stuff. And hey, shout out to Mooski. Mooski, if you ever see this, come on the show. That track starts joining us down. But until next time, this is Good to the Hood. Peace.